It looks like it's end of days for Paul Pogba at Manchester United after his worst display for Manchester United in the previous games. The only game that Pogba really came up and showed up was the game against the team known as RB Leipzig. That's when he put in an assist, and I think that was his own contribution into that game, as I remember. But people rate him highly. I too rate him highly as one of the best world midfielders in the world. But at United, for the previous 4 seasons, has been at Manchester United, plus the fifth one is enjoying at Manchester United. I think he doesn't really have the worthiness to be at Manchester United. Now, what's the story all about? The story is all about an exciting young midfielder from France known as Camavinga. We all know Camavinga. He's really a young lad from France. And Camavinga is a French professional player who plays as a midfielder for Rennes and the France international team. Born in Angola, as you hear the word Eduardo, most of those players really come from Latin America. They come in from South America and Angola. Angola really has sort of names like those because it was colonized by, is it Portugal? So Portugal, Spain, South America really have so much Eduardos, and Eduardo was born in Angola, but he represents France on the national team. He was born on November 10th, 2002. No wonder he's 18 years old, and he was born in Mochonge, Angola, and he has 1.82 meters long. So it shows you how much this lad is really up into big things. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is ready to let Pogba out of the Manchester United team and bring in a blood known as Camavinga. Now, when you look at Camavinga, he's really an exciting young lad. I've seen him several times playing for France, not for Rennes, but for France. I've seen him a lot, putting up some good appearances. And there is a goal that he scored. My God. In the previous international break that was won, he really scored a very good goal, and it showed you the class of the lad in the names of Camavinga. So Pogba, I think he's leaving to Madrid, because I've seen a story indicating that the manager of Real Madrid is more interested in Paul Pogba than Camavinga. And if at all Pogba really leaves at Manchester United, because it's said that Manchester United have put a price tag of £60 million to Paul Pogba. And I think Camavinga, let me see how much Camavinga. I think Camavinga cannot exceed £30 million if at all he's coming from France. However much is exciting, I really like him, but I don't see really breaking the odds, or Man United goes in to break the bank to really go ahead and do things that way. And Camavinga is really a nice lad, and as I look at things, Real Madrid are set to go on a bidding war with Manchester United for two players, Eduardo Camavinga and Eric Haaland. But that was a rumor that really came out some 2 days back, but the manager of Real Madrid said that Paul Pogba is that player that I think my team is missing. And so I think we are seeing Paul Pogba out of Manchester United, guys. Trust me. Manchester United just triggering his 1 year on the contract just meant that they are not ready to give Pogba a 5-year contract or a more 4-year contract, because he's not worth it. And if at all it happened, it was not going to be about Pogba's love for Manchester United. It was going to be all about money for Paul Pogba to play at Manchester United. So I think that's why the team really came out and said, the board, that we are not awarding Pogba a full contract, because the other season when he was playing well, this is Paul Pogba and his manager Raiola. This is what you should know. When Paul Pogba is playing very well, you will see Raiola coming out making questions of Paul Pogba leaving Manchester United and talking of their contract. But because Paul Pogba is having a worst season ever, by the way, ever since Pogba came at Manchester United, I think this is going to be the worst season. Ever since the season started, he has only done one thing. The assist he gave to Mason Greenwood, and that was our first goal against RB Leipzig. The rest, nothing. Remember, he had costed Manchester United close to 2 penalties. He doesn't track back. He loses a lot of balls in the midfield of Manchester United. So I think Ole is right to let Pogba leave Manchester United, because as Rokan, I don't have an agenda on Paul Pogba, but as I see things, Paul Pogba really is not supposed to be a Manchester United player. A lot of managers gave him time, and there is something that Carragher really came out and said about Paul Pogba. Let me look for it because it really has something in it that I want us to include into this story. So let me look for it because I think it's not far away. It's not far away. It's not far away, guys. Because Carragher came out and said something about Paul Pogba that I found very interesting and very okay. And it was really true. Though some people really came out and disagree with it. Although amidst all what he said, I did agree with him 100%. But there are points that he really pointed about Paul Pogba, and I really saw that it was really something that was worth being talked about because of Paul Pogba being really a player that doesn't help the club. He doesn't help us. Now, if at all, let me pose this question to you, you people that are watching it. When does Pogba help Manchester United? When we are having the ball or we are not having the ball? Now, I get into the tweet or what Jamie Carragher told TalkSport. He said, the fact we are still talking 4.5 years later, it suggests he's never been good enough in different tactical setups. Would I pick Pogba in Manchester United team now? No, I wouldn't. That is Jamie Carragher. I don't think he's a great player. That's what Pogba is saying. No, now, what I disagree with Carragher is saying that Pogba is not a great player. Pogba is a great player, but he has failed to fit at Manchester United. Alongside Mourinho, he failed. Alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he has failed. So I think he has failed on two managers at Manchester United, and that does not rule out him to be a great player. For me, I believe he's a great player. For that, I say to Carragher that was really a very big insult to Paul Pogba that he's not a great player. Because Carragher, if I told you to put you into this caliber, if I told you say Pogba is a great player, then which kind of player were you when you playing at Liverpool? If you don't put Carragher, if you don't put Paul Pogba into the caliber of great players, then for you, which caliber are we going to put you when we are judging you and your entire football career? Because talent-wise, your talent was minimal. When you look at the rest, it was like you used a lot of heart and love for the team. It's one that was driving you to play for Liverpool, but not because you were talented. You also know that. You also don't insult Pogba by telling him that he is not a great player. To me, Pogba is a great player for Manchester United, and I like him, guys. I like Paul Pogba, but I think he has just failed to adapt to what the managers of Manchester United want. He continued and said, Pogba's fans are saying Jose was too offensive. Ole isn't a top manager. I would be looking at myself. So for that, he was right, because Pogba's fans were saying Jose was a defensive manager and Ole is not a top manager. But talking of Ole not being a top manager, he has put him in every position that he deserves to be playing in, and Pogba has really failed to deliver at Manchester United. So they've played him in every position. The position that Bruno Fernandes is playing right now, Ole played in Pogba, and Pogba failed to deliver. He put him back into the defensive role, playing alongside the mathematical Scott McTominay into the defensive midfield, and he looked like that because he loses a lot of balls. He's I don't know which manager really needs to come into his life and really wakes him up, because Pogba is a great talent, but each and every time he's on the field this season, it's like he's being forced. It's like he doesn't want to play for Manchester United. I think the coming of Bruno Fernandes doing things that Pogba was going to do for the 4 years that spent at Manchester United, I think it tortured him psychologically, guys. I think he's tortured psychologically, and he thinks there is no more space for him. He cannot fight for anything, because I think that would have been a better situation for Paul Pogba to act well and really show the manager that Bruno Fernandes shouldn't be the main man at the club. I should be the main man. But even when he's put into that role when Bruno is benched, Pogba doesn't really come out and show that he's best on the pitch. So I think Carragher was right on that point. And the last point he said about Paul Pogba was that Pogba played enough games for Manchester United now, and finally Ole said, maybe rightly so, Fernandes is my player. He's been really good since coming in January. So I would be looking to take the money on Pogba. So I think for that it was also okay. I too look for Manchester United being paid money for Paul Pogba, because I don't really see any more that Pogba can really get us. I don't really see it. If you see it, they're out, but because when you look at Ole really trusts Paul Pogba, by the way. But we all thought that having Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes on the pitch is really going to increase on the number of chances that we create and really creating more threats for Manchester United. Now, look at the game against Arsenal. What did Pogba do on the pitch? Nothing, apart from really causing a penalty. Look at the game against Chelsea. Nothing. A game against Tottenham Hotspur causing us a penalty and being very, very, very lazy into the midfield and throwing very many balls. So all has given Will Pogba the time that he wanted, to an extent that even when he had just recovered from COVID-19 at the beginning of the season, however unfit he was, Ole gave him a nod in the fixture of a team of the game against a team known as Crystal Palace, where we lost 3-2, 3-1. But guess, did Pogba do anything? He did nothing into that game too. So I think that's why Ole has really come out and said in his mind that let's sell Paul Pogba and bring in Camavinga, because Camavinga is a young player who really wants to adventure a lot at Manchester United. And I think if at all Manchester United sells Paul Pogba to Real Madrid, that will be direct entry of Camavinga. Very young player, exciting, and he's really good. He's really good. Defensively, he's okay. Going forward, he's okay. And when you look at how he has been really coming up to show up, the season of 2019-2020, he played in Europa League. He played 4 games and he scored 0 goals, 0 yellow cards, and got 1 red card. Sorry for that. Copa de la Ligue, he played 1 game. French League Cup, he played 5 games. UEFA Champions League, in 2020-2021, he played 1 game. And the League 1, 2020-2021, he has so far played 8 games. He scored 1 goal. He has 1 assist and 2 yellow cards. That's Camavinga for you. And when you look at his statistics right now, he's really a very promising player that I really would love to see at Manchester United. And I think Ole really needs to see to it that he brings him at Old Trafford and sells Paul Pogba. So you have the right to go to the comment section and tell me what you think about Ole really wanting Camavinga in and Pogba out. I'm Rokan here at United Social Television. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in on a day. Continue to subscribe, guys. Let's see ourselves really getting the 2K mark before the end of this month. I'm Rokan. That is the end of my story of Pogba out and Camavinga.